So we are now recording the April 21st, 2017 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Happy
Hello.
Friday.
Happy Friday. And we have someone new with us today, Sandy. Sandy, would you like to?
Hi.
Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, well, as you guys know, my name is Sandy, and I'm just starting off my business. It's called Minority Tax Services. So I'm trying to do tax preparation and bookkeeping. So I'm just trying to learn the business and to go about it.
And where are you located, Sandy?
I'm located here in San Diego, California.
In Diego, I have family in San Diego.
Yes, and we have a hot heat wave going on right now.
What a way.
So you and Sarah. Welcome, Sandy.
Thank you.
You said are you an enrolled agent? Is that right?
Yes, I am.
When did you become an enrolled agent?
Last February of 2016. So,
Did you find the tests hard?
the second part for the business portion was extremely hard, but the other section weren't too bad. But I still think the CPA exam is much harder.
I took the CPA exam about 35 years ago, and we had to take the whole thing at one time. Your first time you had to take was like 19 and a half hours, two and a half days.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I've heard back in the day.
And you couldn't talk to anybody. I mean, if you talked in the restrooms, they'd kick you out. And so there was like 1,200 people and no one made a sound.
Wow.
This one guy was telling me, said that one time he went and somebody actually tipped over in their chair and fell on the floor and no one even laughed.
Oh. I can believe that in a room full of accountants.
Well, what they would do is it'd be like two people per table and they'd have the answer sheet. You know, the answer sheet, some would be up and down and some would be across. So if you try to copy someone's answer sheet, you might be copying the wrong format. So it was an experience.
One you don't want to repeat, huh?
No. Still have the scars.
Okay. Well, Sandy does have a question. I cannot answer this question. It's related to payroll. I do ADP or paychecks. So if anyone does payroll, maybe they can help. Sandy, you want to explain?
So I'm using QuickBook Enterprise 2015, and on my balance sheet it says I have an amount, open balance for payroll liability. It's of a certain amount. So the amount it's wrong. I need to clear it out of the balance sheet, but I don't know how to go about it to reconcile it.
Oh, that's my area. Well, the first thing first you understand that item codes, the payroll item codes, I call them buckets.
Yes.
They grow with the paychecks and are knocked down by the payroll liability checks. And so they're going up and down through their lives.
Yes.
So before you start playing with those codes, you need to figure out why the codes are out of whack. And how they relate to the balance sheet. Is the balance sheet wrong? Or is it just the buckets, the payroll item codes are wrong? Was somebody making tax deposits outside of the payroll system?
That's what I can't figure out, and I don't know the movement. I know that once payroll is processed, they pay the liability once a week. So there should
be clean, yeah.
It should be clean, yes. So the amount that's showing shouldn't be there, but I don't know how to research or go about cleaning it.
Well, another thing that's important is on a tax liability check, it has a range that it relieves, and that's real important to see. Maybe they have the ranges incorrect. So it's all date oriented. And there
Okay.
is a report. If you go to reports, payroll, and payroll liability balances, I believe, you can show year to date in monthly columns or by quarter or whatever, and see if the even do it by week. I mean, and then pick something that is on every single paycheck would be like Medicare.
Yeah, Medicare and Social Security.
So, because not everybody has federal or unemployment or whatever. So, you take one of the codes.
Okay.
Zoom in on it, and you will see it getting larger and larger with every paycheck, and then knocked down by a liability check. So you can start playing detective that way.
Okay.
There may be voided paychecks and they ever paid their taxes. I mean, now here's another thing. When you install QuickBooks right out of the box, it suggests one payroll liability account and one expense account.
Okay.
We don't do that. We want to have a 941 payable account, your state withholding, your state unemployment, and your federal unemployment. At least 4.
Oh, I only have the 2.
You want, yeah. See, that's just going to make it harder to play detective. You just got this massive. And then on the expense side, you want to have payroll taxes for the employer share of the payroll taxes. You want to have gross wages. And then depending on the client or the industry, it's how detailed do you want to get into gross wages? Do you want to have bonuses in their own GL account? Do you want to have office, if it's a corporation, you want your officer's payroll to be in its own account? But all that's controlled on the payroll item list.
Okay.
You can, and this gets a little dicey because I don't, when I start consulting, I want to see, when was the last tax return? How much can we play with data? You can take that liability account or the expense account, change it in the payroll system so that it goes retroactively and puts it in separate accounts, but it's not changing the bottom line. It's not going to change total liabilities. It may break them out into 4 liability accounts.
Okay.
So, and then there's other things. Start searching, doing transaction reports, and search for regular checks or something. So it's learning how to get around the system and how the system thinks.
Yes.
Where to zoom in and look and get ideas. Troubleshooting. I don't know how to teach troubleshooting really.
I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I just didn't know exactly where to troubleshoot and drill in, but that's helpful right there. I'll go with the payroll.
Like it through, please.
So
It's the door that's in the way. All you had to do was bring the door back.
I don't know. Shut up. Shut up. No, I think it's gonna be her.
Linda's frozen and is unmuted. So.
It's like
If you get into a bind, I'm around all weekend if you want to.
okay.
We can do a Zoom and I'll help you out. Gina's muted. She's talking away with somebody.
But thank you.
Sorry about
I really
that.
appreciate it. It gives me where to actually start. I've been trying to reconcile, and I thought I'd figure it out, but apparently only partial of the amount was cleared.
So what? Because there are ways to go in to change those buckets for different date ranges, and you have to be very careful. You can go to advanced and say, just change the buckets and don't hurt anything else, or actually change it and go change the general ledger. So you can get in a lot of trouble if you get in there, if somebody gets in there not knowing what they're doing. But have you been doing the payroll returns, or somebody else is doing the payroll returns?
No, someone else is doing the payroll return. I just started to clean up the books and fix. So I've been just cleaning up the books, and I asked about the payroll amount. I was like, I show here that you have a payroll liability of over $200,000. I guess not right. It's we pay it right away. So I'm like, okay.
Well, when they say they pay it away, right away, do they pay all of it right away? Because usually, like unemployment taxes or not due except for once a quarter.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
Well, that kind of money sounds like they're expensing their tax payments.
Do you look at their expenses and see they're not
Yeah, I
doubling
bet
up
there's
on
an
their
expense
payments?
account that's wacky.
The expense account, okay. Well, the only thing that should be open right now is for this first quarter of the payroll, which I believe we're making a payment this coming up week.
Yeah. So you
So it
need to
should
see, how is she making the payment? If they're using the payroll program within QuickBooks, is she
Yeah.
going to pay liabilities and, changing the date? And is she doing EFTPS, or is she going separately to the IRS website and paying and then posting it in QuickBooks, or is she letting QuickBooks do it? Those are the kind of things. You get into the payroll program, you can start looking. There's a tab for the employees. There's a tab for transactions. You can go look for the tax transactions. I mean, there's a plethora of info.
I'm not sure how she's paying it because I haven't got to that point.
Yeah,
But she's
I'd start there. I'd start there and see. QuickBooks has 5 different kinds of checks. They're very unique. And there's a regular check. There's an accounts payable bill check that relieves the bill. There's a tax liability check that relieves the payroll codes.
Sales tax.
Sales tax check. And there's, what's the check?
Just a check. There's just a check.
Paycheck.
Paychecks, checks, bill payment, sales tax, payroll liability.
That was different.
Thank you, Dad.
Thanks, Dad. So
is there somewhere
what kind of checks? A lot of people buy QuickBooks and click on the cute little picture of the check, and then off they go. Meanwhile, they're putting in bills.
Yeah, it's a common mistake on sales taxes to accrue it and then go ahead and expense it, and so you double up, and you never relieve the liability. Yeah, the liability just kind of is.
And it sounds like if you're that out of whack on your liability accounts, that sounds like
she's writing a check to the payroll tax expense. That's what she's doing.
It's an expensive side.
If you go through and find out the actual tax payments that she made and actually make liability checks, delete the actual check and make sure the payroll items point to the right place, it'll self-fix itself.
It'll self-fix.
So is there anywhere
that is you might already have cleared checks and then you got bank recs all screwed up. So
I do have a bank rec thing on YouTube on how to fix the bank rec. How do you do that?
Is there somewhere that she can look for training for payroll? Because that's the other thing. Intuit really puts out a lot for QuickBooks Online.
Yeah, I know.
Not so much for the desktop.
The other thing you can do, if you look in the payroll liability screen, make sure they're set up for the monthly payment or weekly payment. When I do this,
that's another thing.
Is go and pay the liability through the. Find out where she pointed the tax checks, probably to payroll tax expense. Go through the payroll liability. Pay the. Let me put the video on. You can see me moving my hands, which is always. Anyway, you can pay the liability. Go through and mark it off like you're paying the liability with a liability check. That'll show up in the liability tab. On the expense tab, put in the minus the amount for the original amount that
like a clearing account.
So zeros out. It's a zero check. It zeros out the expense, fixes the liability, and it doesn't touch your bank.
I love that idea.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I'm gonna have to rewatch this video because I'm lost right there.
Because I have some people that they don't pay their taxes timely, and then they get notices. So what I do is I pay them like they should, and I put it into I put it into an account on the balance sheet called unpaid payroll taxes.
Yes.
And then when they get the notice, I take it against that, and then I say, okay, here's the penalty they had to pay. And I don't have to worry about it. I mean,
you move it from payroll tax payable to unpaid taxes.
Right, yes. And think big. I mean, you don't have to match it detail to detail. If you go here, I know the liability on 12/31 for the end of the year. Just get that to match and then fix it all in between.
The first thing I do is split out the 4. Get the 941. And don't worry about the breakdown of the 941. Don't worry about Medicare
Don't worry about that.
and NACHI. The IRS doesn't care. It goes on account. So
Right.
yeah, 941, 940, state
Super.
unemployment, state withholding.
And that only helps you reconcile it. You can reconcile that balance sheet account, which
Mhm,
will really help.
mhm.
But I tell you, I do that all the time. I mean, you can work magic when you know these payroll items. You can go in, 'cause, like Sarah said, they pointed to 2 accounts. Payroll liability is and payroll expense. If you make the liability checkup, you go in and they'll say, oh my gosh, I have all these taxes to pay. My CPA says I'm going to owe money. And you go, oh, let me look for you. You go in and you change the payroll thing and you go change it as of from all dates, and all of a sudden it goes woohoo, and it fixes, and you go, I have fixed it for you. That will be $5,000. You know, and they'll say $5,000. I go, gee whiz, that's cheap. You were thinking you were going to have to pay $25,000.
Yeah, really?
Why?
This is 20% of that bill. I actually did that.
Well, Sandy, have you noticed on checks that you will see 2 tabs for where you can just put in the expense account and post right to the expense account, or you may have a tab for item codes. And on a payroll liability check, you're going to have the payroll item codes on one tab. There's another tab where you can go straight to the general ledger. So that's what Deborah was saying was create it like it should have been. Click on the other tab and do a negative to wherever they posted the real tax payments. Make a 0
The check becomes 0.
tax check.
Okay.
And so what it's doing is it's creating what the taxes should have been, relieving those buckets when it should have been.
And it fixes the balance. It fixes the income statement at the same time.
So you play detective first.
Okay.
Poke around.
Figure out, yeah, you have to figure out what they've
Gotta
done.
figure it out
so you
first.
know how to,
Don't
you know,
go in there, you know.
It's fun. I love
it. I
just
the
love
messier the better.
I
I'm
bet.
just not quite sure how to go about QuickBook yet, so but I'm learning.
Payroll is something they goof up all the time because they don't understand the differences in the forms. Learn the forms, what the forms do and how to use them. If you're a consultant, to me, that's one of the biggest things. Learn what the items do and learn the forms.
Right.
And big letters. No more journal entries.
Mhm.
Ever.
Right.
I don't make one journal entry.
I don't
If I
either.
make the depreciation one at the end of the year, I have a 0-sum check to Z depreciation,
You do a 0 check just so you
Every
don't do
single
journal
thing.
entry.
I have
You
every
know, that makes a lot of sense, though.
So if I want to know what my depreciate, I can go to that vendor and look.
Yeah.
I put a Z in front of it, so he's always at the bottom of the list.
I always put it into the account on the chart of accounts as an increase or a decrease, and I let QuickBooks put the journal entry in.
Well, if you use the form, the journal entry happens behind the scenes.
Yeah, but then your memo doesn't copy on both sides, and
Oh yeah, it does. I copy C,
it
Control
does.
C.
no. If you just do it on the register, you really need.
Oh,
to
yeah, I don't like to
You
do it
open
in
it up on the register after you do it.
Yeah.
Because
You
I can
still need to
tell.
look at it. Yeah.
When I'm, for depreciation, I
Yeah.
have the name of the fixed asset. I have a sub-account that's the original value or purchase price.
No.
Too hard, honey.
You are doing it hard, man.
Oh,
You
Lordy.
use the fixed asset
I
item
do it
list.
that way so that the client can see it.
Yeah, my sister-in-law does it. I'd never seen anybody do fixed assets like that before, but hey, it works.
I use the fixed. If you use the fixed asset item list, which to me is another, great thing.
Oh, I've never played with that.
Oh my God, Sarah, it's magical. It's life changing.
That is really one of the benefits of being an accountant, having that fixed asset
Yeah,
list.
because the
I played
tax
with it once, and I
the
don't know.
tax
It wasn't giving me what
return.
I wanted it to do. It was easier to do my Excel, I guess.
Smoke and mirrors,
tax
smoke and
return.
mirrors.
What you get used to.
See, the tax return has a fixed asset detail list.
Right.
And what we do is we go in and we go, oh, they bought some more fixed assets.
Yeah, but you do taxes.
I don't do taxes. But
I don't
How does
How
tax?
does the tax?
Yeah, but it's in your office.
do. I give it to all the CPAs and do it. I tell you what, they come back and look, this is great.
Yeah, I do nonprofits, which is a straight line, and the tax accountants will go.
I'm not worried about the depreciation. The tax guy, this is the asset list when they buy them. Because they
Oh, yeah,
got
yeah.
it. So when they do the depreciation in the tax program, I just post it. I really don't care what it is.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing the full depreciation.
No. So when you use the fixed asset item list, you can put in all of the details about the asset, when they bought it, who they bought it from, when they blah, 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 blah.
I'm going to go look.
And it goes on to the item tab. Okay? So now when you run a fixed asset item register at the end of the year, you can sort it by date, whatever you want. It matches the general ledger or the balance sheet.
Yeah.
So then when you give it, that's one of the reports I give to the tax guy. So then he knows what new assets has been coming, what ones have been sold. So when he does the asset depreciation schedule on his tax return, there's nothing for him to do other than record the new stuff and get rid of the old stuff.
Well, I do a report where I do the like a little general ledger of just the fixed asset accounts, and I'm real detailed in the memo.
You don't have to do it. It's all in QuickBooks. And now what I
just do a general ledger and
I do it in QBO too. I have an actual category called fixed assets under the products and services. I use the item list. I list the assets. It's under the expense. Forget the revenue. So I can get a fixed asset item list in QBO too. I tell you what, it's the best. It's the best thing, you know. So it has to match. So when you're setting up an account, when you put in the only time I use a journal entry, I have to be honest, is when I'm setting up a new account with the 12/31 date. That goes in as a big JE, and I'll post to the fixed asset item list. Fixed assets. Well, then I have a zero-sum check where I have fixed assets on the expense tab minus, and each of the assets listed on the item list. The check is zero, but now I have all the fixed assets in on the original date of the purchase. I mean, on the fixed asset list, the item list. It works great.
I hate this password stuff where I have to change it every night.
So, Sandy, is your head spinning yet?
I understand what's going on. I just don't really, I haven't used it.
You have to use it. You have to do it.
You gotta use it.
Does a Sweeter still have?
That's my plan. I'm just trying to wrap my head over this payroll liability part right now.
Well, why don't you just jump into the hardest thing and
Yeah, do the hardest one. That's the hardest one.
The other thing, Sandy,
Yes.
I had a problem like that with the balance sheet with a client I had, and I got the client to hire Sarah Laidlaw to fix it. So,
But you know what? If you fix that balance sheet, then the income statement is right.
And we use each other.
Yeah, if you fix the balance sheet, the income statement will be right by default.
where's the fixed asset thing in here?
Under lists.
Lists.
Fixed
Fixed
asset
asset
item.
item list. I
Ta-da!
have in here test purchased 04. I must have been in here before. All right, so you're keeping track of.
No, it keeps everything in there. The serial numbers, warranty information, when I bought it, who I bought it from, date I originally bought it. You know, all of that.
Yeah.
Does Sweeter still sell their manuals on QuickBooks Desktop?
I don't think so.
Oh, the QuickBooks consulting manuals. They were the best.
Yeah.
Still get them.
Can you still get them? Does Accountex sell them?
If you're a member, I think most of them are free now.
It's Accountex now, is it? Sweeter's doesn't exist anymore, does it?
Yeah, so Accountex, I think if you're a member of Accountex, then, because I know I got Stacy's restaurant book for free.
You know, I ordered her book. I still don't have it. How long does it take to ship?
Not very long.
You know what? I got the download. I don't think I ever got one in the mail.
Huh.
So maybe you have to download it, Deb.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, I'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, because there's an industry I know nothing.
Oh, I use a lot of restaurants. In fact, I'm very excited. I'm working with the Restaurant Institute of America.
Are you?
Nice, nice. Congratulations.
He goes out and he does seminars on financial accounting for restaurants. And so I took it. It's a 2-day class. I mean, 2 days. And I'm sitting there and and it's a webinar, online class. You can go to them, on person, but I did the online one. So I'm sitting in there and typing into the box. I never keep quiet.
That's why we love you, Deb.
He's going, well, it's too bad you can't do this in QuickBooks. And I go, yes, you can if you use the item list. Yes, you can if you do it like this. I use my people like that. Yes, you can if you do it. I'm typing into the thing.
That's great. That's great.
Well, Deborah says you can in QuickBooks. Well, maybe you can. So anyway. Then he had a poll. He gave a thing where we're going to do a drawing for the $700 CCH book on restaurant accounting. So I said, oh, I hope I win. I hope I win. And they said, girl. And I thought, oh, congratulations, Susie. Darn it, So anyway, I got an email from him later that day. He goes, you were so much fun in the class. I'm sending you the book. I'm like,
Good.
oh my God. I mean, it's a pretty, look at this book.
Wow.
Oh, my good.
I mean, it's a pretty good, really small type.
Wow. That's the CCH?
Yeah. So then he calls me and he goes, I'm so intrigued. I said, so then I wrote to him, I said, if you ever want help designing the QuickBooks product, because what you teach is so great. And that's restaurants use QuickBooks. So telling him all of this is saying, I'm going to teach you how to drive a car, and you never give them the car.
Wow.
And he said, that's a great thing. So maybe we should come, so great. So we've been talking, and it is funny because he doesn't know QuickBooks at all. And I do a lot of restaurants, and every day the daily sales summary comes in. It's literally, I spend half an hour doing about 12 restaurants. And every day I import the daily sales summary. Boof, boof, boof. And he goes, that must take you forever. No, I timed it. It takes 36 minutes. And every day they have, and it's into QBO. I have a template. I use Z-Axis. Because Z-Axis is cheaper than Transaction Pro Importer. Because Z-Axis costs $285 for as many clients as you want to put on it.
Oh, for QBO?
Yep. Transaction Pro Importer is like $16 or $18 per customer.
No.
I'd rather use Transaction Pro Importer, but not at that price.
Yeah.
So I use Z-Axis. Works great. So I have a template. I fill it out based on their POS. And it has VLOOKUPs and everything. It's beautiful. I just have to type in the numbers, and it tells what count to put it through. Open up Z-Axis, connect the QBO file. Done. Next one.
Nice.
And
How's it sound?
and that's done. And then then during you'll see all the transactions come in. You set up the prime cost. You have these reports. You meet with them weekly. And I tell you what, the rest. They're going, whoa. So I'm telling this guy about this. So he's very excited. So anyway, he said, well, you sound very enthusiastic about this. I go, it's magical how you can do this in QuickBooks. Because they think they have these big, elaborate. Now, we're not talking, like, Outback Steakhouse kind of place.
Right.
And I said, but it works great. And you can really help these restaurants see where their costs are. I mean, like I did one in February, and we had our meeting, and I said, your cost of goods are 45%. You buy a lot of product this month. Oh yeah, we bought a lot of fish because Bike Week's the very first week in March. I said, okay, well next month you'll see cost of goods percentage go down. Over the 2 months it should be 35%. Exactly what she goes, this is really great how he knew exactly what we were supposed to do. Another guy, with Bike Week, the payroll taxes were high because he had more staff. And of course, he saw the payroll tax deposit of $18,000. He goes, I have to cut my payroll costs. Look at the expense I'm paying on payroll taxes. He doesn't understand.
He doesn't understand what it is, yeah.
So I said, let me tell you something. What do you want payroll to be? I want it to be at 20%. I said, payroll needs to be at 35% or less. You're at 33. You're right on the money. You cut staff, you cut service, you cut sales, you have no business. You're the stupidest thing you could do, and I talk to them like this, is cut staff. The smartest, your portion sizes are too high, because when I come in there, I see people walking out with their dinner in a to-go box, which means you're feeding them too much in the beginning. So you're giving them 2 meals for the price of 1. Right. Cut your portion sizes. Cut all this extra crap. You go, but we like them to come in. Yeah, but you're
tough love, isn't it?
he goes, well, that makes a lot of sense, but I don't want to make my customers mad. You won't. You're in a tourist town. They never repeat themselves.
You're never going to see them again.
You're never going to see them again. And if they come back a year later, they won't remember how big the portion sizes were.
They won't know the difference anyway.
So anyway, it's fun. Anyway, I'm working with this guy, and to do the QuickBooks.
Fun when they listen, huh? Or when they're comprehending what you're saying.
Well, when you show them the numbers, and I tell you what, I have a meeting with my with QBO, you really have to change your business model.
Yeah.
Because you're no longer taking the time doing the data entry. So I thought, how can because they're coming back, and I hear this complaint that they're coming back and saying, well, what do I need you for? I'm doing it all myself. So I go, I don't know what you need me for. You need me to be able to interpret the numbers. I said, how some people speak Spanish and some people can read recipes? Well, I read financial statements.
There you go.
Those numbers speak to me.
Nice.
So I can help you see what they mean. And we get industry standards and look at the percentages and go over it. And so, I love this analogy. Feel free to use it. I said,
you have 2 pairs of glasses on?
I know. Well, this was my pair when I need to read clothes, and this is my pair when I need to read so sometimes you'll see me like this. So I should put these on. I can see all of you better. Anyway, I thought of this idea. What do you think of this thing? You know how they go, well, why do we need an accountant? I said, let me give you an analogy here to tell you a story. You are the heartbeat of your business. You're the visionary. You're the heartbeat. I'm the brains.
Oh.
If someone dies, and you can have a body on a bed with a heartbeat, and they can stay alive forever. They will never thrive. They will never get any better. We
Life support.
Vegetables. A brain, however, cannot operate without a heart.
Right.
You never have a brain without a heart. So there's no need to have me unless I have a visionary and a business owner that has his heart into the business. So I'm not needed if I don't have you. But you're no good if you don't have me.
Oh, I love it.
Together, we make a complete, a remarkable being that will do great things because you have the heart and the vision and I have the brains. Either one of us together without each other dies.
Yeah.
So when do you want to start?
I love it.
You love that in your heart?
I love it. Yeah.
I thought that was great. I did that yesterday to a guy. Chris Hal's hearing it for the first time, and the client's sitting in front of me, and Hal's sitting behind me.
I have a brain.
And Hal's going. Hal's looking at me going, "Oh my god!" And then I said, "So, pardon?
Is Hal okay now?"
Oh well, that's that.
We'll come to that. We want to talk about that with Dennis too.
So so he's looking behind me making these faces. So I said to the guy, now maybe you just want my medium plan. So you need to get on QBO. QBO costs $40 a month. And then, all this stuff kind of happens. I said, but most people, what they do is they like me to help them. And for $249 a month, you're on my support plan. You're still doing all the work. But I'm available for questions, and we have a meeting once a month because I will go over your books. And I pay for your QuickBooks, so that you don't pay for that. Oh, you pay for QuickBooks? You mean I don't have to pay the $40? No, you only pay me $249. And so what happens is this. First off, everybody thinks, don't they call you all the time? No, they don't. So, but what happens is they get in there and they realize they really don't know what they're doing. So then they go, I think I'll take that next support plan that you have where you're doing everything. I said, great, that's only $125 a week. And I've started to charge them by the week. Why? Because some months have 5 weeks.
That's right.
So I thought, I'm jipping myself out of 4 weeks every year.
Yep.
Right.
So I charge them, and $125 a week doesn't sound as much as, $400 $500 a month.
Oh.
So does it? They go, oh, only 125. I go, yeah, that's a part-time employee.
You can't hire anybody for that to come in.
You can't hire anybody for that, and you get me.
Yeah.
I said, now if you want the big Mac Daddy, where all the bills come to me, I'm mailing. I said, you still handle all the cash. That begins at only $400 a week, and that's still less than you would pay a full-time accountant. So, which one would you prefer? Do you want to have my Cadillac plan, where you have Or would you rather do the weekly plan? Or you just want to start? Let's just start with the support one. Okay. I'm signing people up. It was funny. I got my QBO bill today. It was almost $500.
Really?
And Hal goes, we got a huge charge from Intuit. I said, I know. It's like, it wasn't. I said, I'm really disappointed. He goes, why? Because I want it to be $1,000.
Al should know better than to work with you like that.
But I'm putting everybody on wholesale. It's amazing. Hal goes, do you know how much money we made last month? I go, yeah, because I'm tracking it in QBO. If you would log in, you'd see for yourself.
Go what?
You need to have a consultation with Al.
Oh, I did. Well, now with this great QBO, it mails out the reports. I said, what do you want to know, Mr. Business Owner Hal? Well, I'd like to know how many 1040s I did compared this year to compared to last year. Okay, so I set up these reports every morning. They go out to him, and he'll come. Oh, I'm up $2,000 from last year. I'm up in units, but my volume is blah 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 blah. I go, I know, but I don't have to. The reports are automatic. It's really great.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
But anyway, I get all excited. This stuff just thrills me. I love this stuff.
So Deb and her husband Hal work together, Sandy. Hal is the CPA. Deb is the QB consultant.
Okay.
And Hal is like, I'm real technologically advanced. Hal is the complete opposite of me. For example, if he gets an email that's for me, he will print it out and put it on my desk, which I then have to scan to get it back into the computer. I'll be standing in his office and I'll go, I need blah blah's W-2. So I whip out my phone, I go, hold on, and I go, oh, here's a link to he goes, do you know how hard this is for me to do? Why can't you go into your office and just print it out? I go, how hard is it to do this? Take the mouse and go click, click, turn to print it up from the printer. How hard is that? Well, that's just too hard. I go, well, here, get up from your desk. Let me do it. So I said, click, click, turn. Here you go. That happens all the time. I can't open this file. What kind of file is it? It's a DOCX file. What does that mean?
Trying to open it with what?
I said, what are you trying to open it with? This is how he does invoicing. You guys love this. He actually opens up Microsoft Publisher and he retypes all of the data. And then he prints out the invoice. He prints a copy for me, a copy for them, and a copy for him. 3 copies.
Oh, no.
Puts one in my inbox, which then I take in and I re-input into QBO. And what's funny is,
you can't convince.
Sweetie.
I think you found the bottleneck in your office.
the what?
I think you found the bottleneck in your office.
I tell you what, and it just frustrates the crap out of me.
I bet. Because you can't fire him. It's not like.
I know. And I said to him, why won't you learn this? I'm getting too old. I'm too old. I go, you've said that for 15 years. One day I'm not going to do this anymore. Well, that was 15 years ago you said that. He said,
I don't know, though.
He said 6 more years to go.
Al landed on his back this season. Tax season did him in.
Now, I have to tell you, that was just his regular heart appointment.
Oh, I missed something on the.
So, anyway, he was in there for his regular heart appointment because I thought that would be funny because he was going to do his after tax season happy dance like he did last year. Yeah. I said, no, this will be funny. So I took the picture of him with all this stuff on him. And everybody's going, prayers for Hal, prayers for Hal. I really think there's something wrong with him. So I typed in, this is just his regular heart. He's fine. And then somebody wrote on the thing, and they went, oh, LOL, prayers for him anyway. That was nice. But anyway, he's fine. In fact, the doctor said, you're in great health. You don't have to come back for a year.
Nice.
He's doing great. Nice. He's so happy tax season's over, though.
So, did anyone see Dawn Brolin's post?
No.
At the end of tax season? Her last day, Tuesday, the last day that you could get anything in. She's working late at her office.
Why?
So late. That's Dawn, but.
Yeah.
She's working late. She goes to leave, and they've got the security gate up. She can't get out of
Can't get out of the parking lot.
out of the parking lot. So she has to sleep in her office on Tuesday night. Poor Dawn.
She couldn't call anybody.
I don't know what the whole story was, but she had a picture of the gates up. And like, oh man, this has been the
I
worst.
always made sure there was
I
either
think whoever locked the gate would have noticed the car in the parking lot.
Or the light on.
Yeah.
What was
Or
it,
they
Motel
don't care.
6?
They
Leave
want to
the
go
light on
home,
for you.
and that person has to deal with what they have to deal with.
Yeah.
Where was her husband? I mean, where was her husband? Says, gee, where, wonder where Dawn is. Oh, she's working again.
She's working.
She's in the office where she's always at.
That's what's nice about working from your house. Hal will be falling asleep in his chair. All of a sudden, I don't hear anything, and I see him.
How's that return going, Hal?
Now he has all the back, the pain in the butt returns. People don't file, and
People don't give you the information
they
to
don't get the information to them, or they don't like what they see.
Oh yeah, they don't like the answers.
Yeah.
I actually have a question about HubDoc. Who here uses HubDoc? Because, my new client right now, the Holistic Chamber of Commerce, they use HubDoc.
Mhm.
Well, it's just a terrible mess. And I was wondering, it's hard for me to know whether it's worth it or not because whoever organized it, it's organized really oddly, and I'm trying to figure out,
Well, what is it? Okay, the advantage that I use HubDoc for me, but I'm not a big fan because it doesn't really do all this magical stuff people say it's supposed to do. I mean, any of the accounts I try to hook up, it doesn't hook up. It doesn't fetch them. So, it won't even fetch the Intuit bill.
It used to.
It doesn't anymore. It doesn't get Amazon. Doesn't
They
get
said Intuit screwed it up. So,
so it's like, gee, what good is this? So, it does get my Verizon bill. Of course, I have a free account, but I'm thinking I don't want to pay $20 for one Verizon bill.
Mm-mm.
So,
well, there's a lot of, it looks like
I
there's a
pull a
lot
lot
of
into it.
old statements, like from 2015.
yeah, it'll keep all the statements. So it's it fetches them out. So if the client doesn't want to give you access to the bank, it might be good. But I tell them that's a requirement. You can either give me your username and password or set me up with my own, which I
Well,
prefer.
we're trying, I'm thinking it's easier. She just hired a person as an office manager that I'm training how to enter the data into QuickBooks so that a lot of it can be entered into QuickBooks. And then they're going to hire another accountant, bookkeeper type that'll reconcile once a month.
Why don't you do that?
Well, it's my
relative.
daughter, and I'd rather not work for family. I'm doing this.
Oh, yeah, they don't pay.
In general, it's, I got involved because the problem was the system they had was not scalable at all. The woman who was doing the bookkeeping, and we offered to scale it on her system and get her involved, but she insisted on doing everything in Chambermaster, creating an invoice, receiving a payment in Chambermaster, and then going into QuickBooks and doing the exact same thing again. And you would not believe, it's just, there's so many transactions, it's unbelievable. So I'm thinking we just need to do away with the HubDoc because it'll be just as easy for them to get the statement and put it in a folder.
Well, if they're doing it, themselves, they have access to their own statements.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I have access to it too, but they might as well just do it.
Now, are you using QBO or with QBD?
No, it's QBD Pro.
Well, I don't even think HubDoc interacts with QBD.
I think it does.
Does it, Sarah? I don't think it does.
Well, oh no, it goes and it gets all the statements.
It gets the
Yeah, it does
statements,
that,
it
but it
files
doesn't-
everything, but
No, but I never merge anything.
no, it's just an online filing system, and it's
That's what it
great
is.
for like
It's an online filing system.
Square and all the utility bills and
Yeah, I mean, but it's good
But
for that.
doesn't somebody have to put them in some kind of order? You go
Yeah.
out there
No,
and you have all these things.
Mm-mm.
No.
It's supposed to put itself in order?
Yeah, it's got
Well,
a
it's
So you use searches. You don't necessarily need it ordered. to bring up things, you search for it.
Yeah, it's a great search.
Oh, I had no idea. That's like Google Mail. To read
Right.
your Google Mail, you have to search for it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not real hep on doing that. I usually do it with organization rather than searching for things.
So it goes into folder like if you have if you hook it up to your gas bill or your electric bill or PayPal or anything, it'll make that a folder for that vendor.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it'll make folders for like with the bank statements, it'll have all the deposits in one folder and cancel checks in another and statements in another. It does all of that automatically.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going over there now to try to figure it out because I am having.
Well, they should give you a login where you can
Yeah,
look
why
at.
don't you have a login?
Oh, I have a login for it. That's what
Oh.
I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I just logged in and I'm looking at it and I'm going like, what?
You don't know what you're looking at? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that's odd is you've got a folder and then you've got another folder and nothing's in these folders. And it's like, what?
Well, they could have taken it out. They could have deleted it.
Yeah, they could have deleted them.
No, it's like, it's just odd. Hold on here.
Well, I want to ask another question. I'm going to tie
Yeah.
into what Sarah was talking about earlier. So if you have HubDoc and you have all of those old statements that go back to the year 1000, do you really need them, and do you really want them even if you don't need them? If the IRS, Dennis, we need you about
File retention?
well, file retention, and isn't there a law that they can only go back so many years, but if you have information for years beyond that, they can take it?
I think they can ask you, do you have these records? And you know,
You say no.
say no, but you know,
No.
subpoena my hard drive.
They could.
Well,
So,
you know, hard drives are so cheap now. I just keep
what's the
keeping
difference
hard
between having paper files like you just got rid of 100 and some boxes?
140.
Wow, you have a new room. You can start over.
With the virtual, though, you don't have that type of problem. You do have a gigabyte problem and space problem.
Space problem. But you have to be like somewhere along the line. You know, remember those days when you only had like 8 digits to name a file? Remember
Yep.
those days? And you know, and then we got into Windows, and you could name things longer, and you could do folders. And so at one point, I should have been filing it like I was filing my boxes, which is by year. But I would do like WordPerfect or whatever I was using, and then I'd have the client. So, you know, I'd go over here for Excel, and then, you know, somewhere along the line I went, could have had a V8, and now when I go into the clients, it's by year. So yes, I could go back and go, 1999, delete, gone.
Right.
You know,
I've actually started doing, I've been doing that by
it's
year.
the QuickBooks files that suck up. Those are the ones I'm so bad about not deleting.
Right.
You know, and trying to get one good backup file per year to represent, so in case of audit or something. But
Or a failure of the database.
failure of the database. But you know, on the clients where we're doing quarterlies, so I'm getting 4 a year plus the year end. You know, I got to get better about nuking those. I don't need them.
No, you know, when I see these old clients that I haven't had in years, and I still have a QBW, I don't want to. What if? You know, it's one of these. As soon as I delete it, somebody's
I
going
was
to
doing that with the boxes. I was like,
oh.
okay, get this. So I have a client, and it's a once a year write up, real easy. And so somewhere along the lines it's the statement from the real estate company, the management company, the escrow number disappeared. And I had $500 on my books as escrow with this company. And so they they drafted or deducted like $300 sometime last year. And I'm like, wait a minute, you already have 5. Oh, no, we haven't had an escrow in a long time. I'm like, so I start pulling out statements. And sure enough, there's this little number at the bottom of the statement that my bookkeeper missed, the 0. So I go in the storage, which is, going back to God knows when. And I was able to find the month that they actually added it back to the check, gave the stupid $500 back. It got all mixed in with just rental income.
Oh, got it.
So I'm like, man, 1 week later that shredder truck was coming. I'd have never figured it out. But at some point you can't argue with them. You write it off and whatever. So, but their records were so poor. I wasn't convinced it was us. It could have been a posting error or it could have been their error.
Mm-hmm.
Because through the years they've gone from handwritten checks and hand typed little bills.
This was your client or the people that they were dealing with?
It's the management company for my client, and the 1099s never match anything. And I called them this year and I said you're missing thousands of dollars. And I said, I just want to let you know. And they missed the first whole quarter.
Oh my goodness. How do you do that?
They changed system. They actually automated.
Oh.
Did it ever occur to you that you have to sort of like add to systems? They're like, oh, we'll do it, void and reissue. I'm like, no. I said, if it's lower, I don't care. I'm just letting you know. Don't have to amend anything.
It's amazing how these companies operate. I mean,
oh my gosh.
I'm
it'll
just
be like right the next year, and then, well, you know what? We were testing the 1099, so that return of escrow I guess it would go in the 1099 probably. I'm trying to think how I could have caught that, but
I'm amazed at how poor even big companies keep records.
Or controllers who are making, $90,000, $100,000 a year, and you go.
I know.
But those controllers are used to having a staff. They don't do anything. All they look at is reports.
I don't know.
Yeah, but the data. I mean, I'm starting work. I'm back with this one company. Did I tell you this story? This is 10 years. I've been with this client 10 years. I think I told you. And I'm going in and going. They had the CFO. They were paying like $100,000 and some to.
Major money.
And we switched him over to QuickBooks finally, thank God. Mm-hmm. And I mean, and it's only been going on 3 months for the QuickBooks file. And I said, well, let me run a balance sheet for 12/31. Nothing's there. So he made every entry he put in he made a transfer. Get a load of this. I've never seen this. On 1/1, he used the bank transfer function.
Yeah.
And put it to, bank account, opening balance, equity accounts. And I'm like,
he closed out his balance sheet every year?
No, he just started in QuickBooks to set up the QuickBooks file.
Oh yeah.
He didn't put in any transactions on 12/31. He made them all 1/1, and he put all the balances in by using the banking transfer to opening balance equity. Like deposit. I'm thinking, oh my God. So anyway, the guy said we can't get any information. I said, well, you're doing it all wrong. So I deleted everything. I started over. They have a payroll. This is where the payroll thing comes in. It's great. They have a payroll company that's Sunbank that you put it, and they're run by Paychecks or the same QuickBooks one. Mm-hmm. So it matches the QuickBooks. So I said, and there's 10 employees. We're not talking a lot of people. So I went in, and this was another genius thing I figured out. And they have people all over the country. And of course, there's different taxes. Well, SunTrust does all the taxes. I don't have to worry about that. And they pull out one big lump every week. They have weekly payroll. So the whole thing comes out, in one big lump. And everybody's on direct deposit. So I thought, well, how am I going to figure this out? And they have, cost of goods, all these different, GL accounts. And, in QuickBooks, it all goes to one. So I thought, I know what I'll do. So I figured it out, and now it matches perfectly. It actually takes me about 20 minutes to do the payroll. I export this transaction, paste into Excel thing, run a pivot table, which tells me how to allocate it and the different things. So I walked in on Monday, got in there about 1 o'clock, and he comes in about 12:20 or 1:25. He goes, "Oh, well, I did payroll." I said, "I've already processed it." "You're what?" I said, "Bank is reconciled, payroll's processed." "Didn't you just get here?" "Yeah, I'm done." I said, "I told you when the process is down, it doesn't take long." "Well, Joe, it would take him a month to do it." Exactly. The next thing is we're going to get the American Express in because they only did one big lump.
Ooh.
And they put it all to travel.
Oh my goodness.
And we're talking a $75,000 American Express bill.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Really? I said, "Yeah, we're gonna go down and whoop, whoop, right in." So that's my next big project. Then of course they want sales orders, and then he goes, "Well, Joe says we couldn't do custom. We like the sales orders to look like this." I go, "Oh, that's a custom form. Let me design it for you." You know, "Is that what you want?" "Oh, that's good." I said their old one had line numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I could put that in as a text box, you know. But
why?
Exactly. Well, I said, "Do you need that? What do you need that for?" "Well, we've always done it like that." "Well, times are changing."
Oh, I hate that. We've always done it that way.
Times are changing. I said, "You ever hear that story about the Easter ham? You ever hear that story?"
Easter ham?
I tell you this all the time. This newlywed couple and the new wife's going to cook Easter dinner. And so her husband's watching her. She takes the ham and she cuts both ends off the ham and she sticks it in the oven. And he says, "Well, why do you cut both ends off the ham?" And he goes, "Well, my mother did it."
My mother has always done it.
So he goes to the mother and he says, "Well, why did you cut both ends off the ham?" And he goes, "Well, my mother did it like that." So he goes to the grandmother. Why did you cut both ends off the ham?" "To fit in my oven. I had a really tiny oven." So no one thought to ask about, why do we have to cut the end? So I always ask the question. My favorite question, I asked this today to a client. "I'd like to know can you do that?" "Yes, I can do that. But if we took the time to get all that out, what difference would it make?"
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'd like to know. Okay. And knowing that would make what difference? Well, I guess none. Great. So if you want to pay me a couple $1,000s to do it, I'm happy to. I'd love to do it. But what for?
Why not?
He goes, "Oh, okay. I guess I don't need it." Right.
Exactly.
You can lead them where you want them to go.
Right. I got a new client this week.
Woohoo!
He found me on the Find a Pro Advisor or whatever.
Wow.
He said, "I've had so many pro advisors in here," and I'm thinking, "Oh God,
This is
And
going to
IT
be fun.
people. He said one of the girls got a new workstation, and ever since then, they can't go in multi-user mode. And I said, "How long has it been like that?" And it's like, I don't know, 8 months. And he yelled down the hall, "My turn!" He said, so he called into it because he's had IT people in there, and they go, "We can't figure this out."
Isn't there an accountant's copy or something?
Huh?
Is it because there's an accountant's copy out?
Nope.
No.
So Plano Pro, nothing to it. So he calls into it, who sells them 2017 Pro on Right Networks for $1,750, $1,750 a year.
Oh, God.
And then I said, "Oh, have you set that up?" And he said, because he has an icon on his desktop and everything to get into Right Next. He said, "Yeah, but somebody told me not to do that." I said, "Okay." He said, "But we can't back up the data. They can make a backup, but it won't verify, and it gives error messages." And he said it's got data in there from 2004, and nobody can condense it or do anything with his database. So I'm like, "Oh, great." So we did the Zoom, and I said, "Hey, all I can do is try." So he got me into the server, and I've been installing 2017. I did 2 servers, 5 computers each Saturday, like 8 hours Saturday. I mean,
Wow.
I'm just like
A beast.
seeing servers in 17 in my sleep. So, and having Mark as my IT guy, I've been watching him because there's a problem where you reboot your server and the services will turn off.
Right.
So I was taking lots of notes, and so I thought, I can do this. So I get into the server and I got to service this. And sure enough, it's turned off. And I turned off, and there was like 2 different ones. I turned it on and I try it now. They wouldn't work. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to get Mark. And so then I got into that database, and so I'm reading and sure enough, it's the TLG log. Oh my God. So he hasn't been able to do a verify to clear out that TLG, and the system's slow, all that stuff.
Wow.
I played with that guy. I mean, we went in and out of different workstations. He was such a trooper at 3 hours trying to back up, restore, all this stuff. And I'm reading the win log, and it was something about a customer. You know how you do your daily sales receipts, and you have a customer called daily sales? Something about that, and I want to say secure data or something about a credit card. So I'm looking at it, and it's defaulting to cash, and he's been using it forever. And on the payment screen, it's defaulting to cash and all that stuff, but it had a month and a year expiration. I'm like, why is that there? And he's, I don't know, but you can't get rid of it. And you can't. It will not get rid of it. You blank it out, you exit, whatever, it pops right back up. So I'm like, that night, I'm like, it's that screen. Something's corrupt on that screen. So the next morning, after talking to Mark, there was a 3rd QuickBooks file on the server that you have to check the service. And so we dialed in, he got us in the server. I said, restart, boom. And they're yelling down the hall, and everybody's going, we're multi-user mode, right? I said, so I got back into the data file, and I said, you know what? I have a feeling that customer wants a credit card number. So we're going to give it one. So I used like the first 8 digits of a real credit card, just in case it was like testing it. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And a fake name and everything. Did it. And fixed it. We were able to do a full verify. We took it on the local drive. The fragments were like 200 and something, knocked that down to 3.
Wow.
And it's so fast. And so anyway, so now I'm ready. So he called into it, told him to get him his money back. They kept like 900 of it.
I wonder did he talk to Intuit, or did he call one of these hocus pocus people?
I'm wondering about that too. I'm hearing lots of people.
I don't know, but they prorated it because it already. I don't know how long he's had that Bright Networks, but out of 17,
Intuit doesn't sell Right Networks.
Yeah,
No.
they do. If you go to the Intuit website and but it's an enterprise. That's what's weird. You go in and you say, I want hosted enterprise.
Yeah.
That's what they
Intuit is using Right Networks.
Wow.
I had never heard, but he said it was input to it, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, because you Google for help, and you'll come up with one of these bogus companies that will charge you, put you on a plan for $495.
He was so happy. He was so happy he's multi-user. He was so happy that he could get a good backup, and we got that TLG file down.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, his bookkeeper is at a convention for a week, and he wants to surprise her when she gets there.
Oh wow.
So we ordered
I'd rather
2
a gift basket.
Yeah, we ordered 2 licenses of 17, so I got my brownie points, and then I'll get to install it, next week. So
Nice.
and then I sent him the link to the Pro Advisor thing to vote for me.
Oh.
Okay, what is a pro-advisor?
I'm sorry, Sandy.
What is a pro-advisor?
What is
you
a
need to sign up for that.
Pro-Advisor?
Yes.
That's what we all are.
Someone.
You need to
Something
sign
you
up for
need
that.
to be.
It's Intuit's program for its accountants that help the clients. Then there's lots of training there. There's lots of payroll training
And
there
it's
too.
free for QBO.
Right.
That's free if you're going to do QuickBooks Online. You have to pay. Well, it depends on which. There's I think a 350 and a 500.
Yeah, they have 2 levels of.
Yeah, and then you can get the payroll add-on. Get the payroll add-on. It's very well.
Yeah. If you're going to do payroll or quarterly.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, I don't.
So you'll get the discounts and then, but the training stuff. And then
Oh,
that's when we say we're a certified pro advisor. Anybody can be a pro advisor. All they got to do is pay. But if they take the test, then we can say certified.
Right.
Advanced is harder. The regular certification is really, can you use the software?
So the certification is where you get the training. Whether or not you actually take the test is a different thing, but you've got the training there for all of that.
Yeah.
Very,
The accountant's
very
version,
detailed.
you want the accountant's version of the software because you
Right.
get all the toys.
Yeah, you
Plus
can
you
do
get-
all kinds of stuff, like finding things.
So
Yeah.
it's a training course that teaches you how to use QuickBooks. Is that what?
Yeah, it's all there. It's all
It's
with
all
it.
there. It's awesome.
Also, there's a lot of marketing materials too.
Yeah,
Well,
marketing.
the other thing is if you if you want enterprise solutions though, how come you have enterprise solutions?
Yeah, how'd you get enterprise?
Oh, actually, it's a family friend that I'm helping.
Are you dialing into their machine or using it over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
why.
They have.
Because
And they don't have to upgrade till 20. Well, actually, aren't they on the subscription model?
You said they were on
I don't know.
15.
It's 2015.
Yeah, that's
Well,
weird.
no, but this is
And they're still doing payroll. Payroll
You
makes
can
you
do 50,
update.
No, you can do payroll another
15's
year.
good. 14's the one's going away.
Yeah, 14 is being sunset.
it's 14. Well, I have a client though, and it turns out they have, I don't know if they have Enterprise or Premier, but they're on a version which they get charged $850 every year to have this up to date, and they never made it up to date. They are running QuickBooks 2015 now.
Ugh.
Yeah. It sounds like it. They probably paid every year, but they just haven't taken advantage of it. and
Right.
sold it.
They didn't know. What happened is they had actually hired somebody else and then they fired him. So I discovered
You know, and
it.
this pesky little credit card charge is $800.
Yeah, so just $850 every year. And they didn't know they could get the new. So we're going to do it before. I said it was kind of the other thing that's very odd about that particular place. They have their server. They had a computer stolen. So what they did was they have the server installed up in the rafters of their warehouse.
Oh, right,
And
right.
you have to climb up
Oh, that's right.
20
Climb
foot
up
step
there.
ladder to get to it to download the.
Wait, why can't you RDP into the server from another workstation?
What's an RDP?
Remote
Remote
data.
desktop.
I don't know. I've never done that.
Because my server doesn't even have a monitor on it. I only go into my server from my desktop.
Well, maybe I need to call you and find out about how to do that then. because you ought to see me climbing up this 20-foot ladder.
Oh, my goodness.
That's why we
Oh, my
decided not
goodness.
to do it.
I thought it was funny that my husband has my server bolted to the building. We need a deadbolt to steal mine. I mean, a
No,
bolt
but if
cutter.
somebody wants to steal, they had one stolen before, and that's a real hassle.
I tell you what. And it's real hard. You know, he'll say no data on your workstations. You know, because if somebody steals your workstation, it's so hard not to have data on your workstation.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
It's an email. It's
Oh, every time you download something, it goes to downloads
yeah.
on your,
Yeah.
yep. Unless you
Well,
move
you know,
it.
our time is up today.
Okay. We're having too
We have
much
anything
fun.
to talk about today?
Yeah.
Larry, you had something over here. What is this link you put on?
Bilbies.
Yeah.
Seth mentioned them again this morning,
Yeah,
and
they're friends or something from.
he had them on one other Friday, but I
Oh,
don't
right.
I don't think I saw that one.
Okay.
It's interesting.
This
Yeah.
is Crunchbase. What's Crunchbase and what's Bilbies?
Crunchbase just happened to have an article about that company.
Oh, okay.
Bilbies.
Bilbies is the company. Yeah.
BILLBE.
Yeah, I looked at the link and I didn't understand anything about it. But
What's it for? What is it?
It's it's like Bill.com. Any another company.
oh, okay, got
Oh,
it.
is it? Oh, yeah, but
I
it's
think they
bare bone basics. It's really new.
I think they take the stuff like Receipt Bank and Bill.com, and what is it, about three different apps that these guys.
Was he saying HubDoc? I can't remember.
Oh, wow. So it actually fetches the statements?
It's a dashboard.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
I mean, it was like his meeting this morning was like on becoming an specialist or eco analyst and that was one of the tools he's using that combines a couple of functionalities.
It sits on top of QBO with a different.
I'm so busy with my clients. I don't have time to learn all this stuff.
I want to do more with the apps this year than I do into it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now I have I was doing all the AP automation research, and I had this massive spreadsheet,
Right.
weeks of demos, and I'm like, ooh, that thing's valuable. Now I got to figure out what to do with it.
Let me ask you about, I called that mineral tree after that one thing.
Yeah, I don't know why you got to.
They had an attitude. They go, oh, well, you're too small for us to bother.
I tell you what, that guy that I was talking to, he goes, I want that guy's name. He goes, that is wrong.
I said, well, my friend Sarah, she has it, she said she uses it for multiple companies, blah, blah, for the small. Oh, no, we don't do it for that. If you, we don't.
Well, I don't know who they were mortified.
And
I'm sure they should be.
I said, well, then you're no good to me. Well, I guess we should just cancel the demo. I said,
he was anti-selling you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because I was like, wow, that's really weird. Because they said it was $295 or whatever, $250 or something.
Yeah.
And they said, well, it's $295 a month. I said, well, I have these small.
That's on the website. And they once they talked to me and gave me demos and all that, and I told them what I was doing, and I went, $295 is too high. And he said, we'll do $250. It's not just like straight off a website. I negotiated.
Well, but he said it was per client. And I said, no, I said, I don't want to pay that per client.
No.
Oh, my goodness, no.
I said, if I have a lot that have.
I'm the client. That's what and so that's a new concept to them where they say, I'm the client and I can hook up as many QuickBooks clients as I want.
Got it.
And so if I have a client that has like 5 bills a month, I can finally automate them,
Right. Well, they really, I talked to the guy, I'm like, this is not what Sarah says she used.
That's weird.
I said, Sarah Laidlow, she's like really famous in the QuickBooks world. I said, she probably busted. I said, she probably busted your chops a whole lot when she was talking to you.
Yeah, you and I are quite alike in that area. Because I told him, I said, now that I've been using it, I'm like, I really like Bill.com. I said, I still have an account. I'll show your engineers what it looks like.
Right.
Because, when I get done with you, we'll have a really good product.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
But he just said, no, you're not, you're too small. We're too much money. You're too small. And I wouldn't even bother with.
And that was recently.
I wouldn't even bother with the demo. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
I said, do you know that I'm a pro advisor?
Yeah. Do you know that I'm on social media?
Yeah, really.
That was one of the top 100 pro advisors. I was top 10 one year. Do you know who I am?
Right. Don't piss off Deborah.
Because if I like your product, everyone will know it.
I have all begged them to have their department to make me a reseller, a partner. He goes, they haven't contacted you yet? And I'm like, no.
No.
Now that I'm using it, I don't want to start blogging about it or talking it up until I have my reseller link.
There you go.
I'm like,
well, I like the concept, but I don't know who do I need to call so I get the same.
I need to find out what the hierarchy is and who's above whom, and
because right after that thing that you did, I went and said, well, let me try.
Or you should give Deb the contact that you have, not here on public.
Yeah.
Privately message each other.
No, that's private. That's PM. I'm always afraid I'm going to write BM. Oh.
On that note, we're going to end for today. We're getting a little silly here.
Yeah,
See you all same time next week.
Sounds good.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you.
Good weekend.
Nice to have you here, Sandy.
Thank you.
Bye. Nice to see you,
Bye.
Sandy.